Governor Murphy, this seems to be a very critical moment for the relationship between the United States and the European Union. The discussion about US tariffs on steel and aluminum, the last-minute decision to exempt the European Union from these tariffs temporarily, President Trump's attacks against the German car industry. Are you concerned that the transatlantic relationship could be substantially damaged by this administration?
I am concerned, but I think at the end of the day, we will get to some better place of stability. I take great, by the way, the tariffs are yet another chapter in the past 14 months of challenges to that transatlantic bridge. I believe the institutions are stronger than any individual, and I also think there are enough individuals who are still a part of that transatlantic relationship, importantly in Germany, not just in the United States and not just around Europe, and I think the Chancellor in particular. There's enough leadership that will help us get through this. And the tariffs sort of are a tale of two cities. On the one hand, I'm not in favor of them. I think it exacerbates, not only does it break ties internationally, but it exacerbates economic distortions. On the other hand, if you go to Youngstown, Ohio, or other steel towns in this country, and you look at the damage that's been done, and you look at the jobs that have been displaced and the huge social consequences that have resulted, the regular as we go way was certainly not sufficient. Nobody takes advantage of that better than President Donald Trump. So he sees that opening and he's going to seize that. I think he's made the right observation, but he's got the wrong weapon that he's choosing to use.
But the transatlantic relationship is changing. President Donald Trump doesn't seem to be interested in alliances and friendships between the countries. He rather sees foreign policy as zero-sum game. And even Angela Merkel has made clear that she thinks that Europe can no longer rely on the United States. So we are drifting apart, aren't we?
I can certainly understand people drawing that conclusion given the past 14 months. A lot of volatility in our foreign policy, a lot of new direction, a lot of different faces. I'm a former diplomat. I'm very upset by how understaffed the State Department and our diplomatic ranks are. As we sit here, there's no United States ambassador to the Federal Republic of Germany, which I think is completely wrong. So I can understand people drawing those conclusions. But I really believe that we will get through this. I believe the institutions and the individuals who are on the right side of history will ultimately prevail, and that we will understand, whether it's commercially, diplomatically, militarily, whatever it might be, culturally, that across the Atlantic the ties are deep and long and strong, and that each side benefits enormously from that.
Donald Trump's agenda is very unpopular in Europe, but he seems to be in trouble in the US as well. His approval ratings are low. Do you expect a major defeat for Trump's Republican Party in the upcoming midterm elections?
Well, I obviously it's hard to predict. If you look at the evidence recently, whether it's the Senate race in Alabama, whether it's the congressional race in Western Pennsylvania, I think particular interest was the primary in Illinois on Tuesday, the voter turnout among Democrats versus Republicans. The enthusiasm level is very, very high among Democrats. A lot of frustration. There was a particular frustration among women. Before the Texas primaries a couple of weeks ago, there was a line that was going around, which was true, that there were 50 women running for Congress in Texas alone. That gives you some scale. So there's an enormous amount of passion, anger at the president, frustration with the direction.
But are you, Democratic Party, really prepared for this upcoming
we'll
battle?
Yeah, we'll see.
Because at the moment it seems all they can offer is resistance against Donald Trump.
I think it's better than that. And I can understand someone looking at that and saying, drawing that conclusion. I wouldn't underestimate that as a factor. People ask me all the time, are you concerned that there are so many people running for every seat? I'm not concerned about that at all. I actually think I'm in the more the merrier category. And I know there's a big debate about progressives versus sort of more centrist Democrats. I think those are debates we should be happy to have as a party, and may the best person win. We are the big tent party, after all. So the Democrats are used to having different factions and different points of disagreement. But I think we stand for things. I mean, in New Jersey, where I'm the governor, we stood for a stronger and fairer economy that works for everybody. That's a powerful notion that applies to all different potential coalitions. And I think that's something that our party nationally is increasingly drawn to. And I think the more we are drawn to it, the more successful we'll be.
Governor, thank you very much.
My honor. Nice to be with you.